in the inside. He was double teamed. Matt Suey was there to help, but he gets that right hand up there.
That must look like a mountain coming at you.
Well, you know, too tall is about 6'9", and when he gets his right arm up, he's about 7'5".
Evans going deep for Bashnagel. And Brian Bashnagel can't come down with it. Everson Walls right back there with him.
Everson Walls is a name we haven't talked an awful lot about today. Remember early when every time anyone would do a Dallas game, they'd always talk they're going to work on Everson Walls. He's not a rookie anymore.
They worked enough on him to make him experienced.
He's had 3 years experience.
In 12 games. Parsons standing back deep. James Jones back for Dallas. 3-3 score. Parsons gets off a good high kick this time. Jones fields it. Bears down there quickly. Jones almost broke it. He gets out to the 40. He is upset with himself. There are the NFC Central Division standings. Detroit won today, just a half game behind Minnesota now. And the NFL today, don't forget, Green Bay Packers at Minnesota. That will be the first game in the upper Midwestern portion of the country.
The upper Midwest, that's a new word, huh?
Where the Packers come from. Low snap. Toronto from the shotgun. Fires Tony Hill. Good throw that time. First down Dallas. Reuben Henderson, the defender.
That's the first down that the Cowboys have had this quarter. We watched Tony Hill here. He's working on Reuben Henderson. He gave him a move to the inside and then ran to the out. Henderson didn't really take the move to the inside as much as just hold or stop, and that was enough for Tony Hill to beat him to the sideline.
First down Dallas at the Bear 44. 1:08 left to play first half. Runo with time, throws again. Pearson has the ball come loose, and the Bears have it. Terry Schmidt is the man who raked it loose.
This is really something. We've probably seen more tough hits in the secondary than we've seen all year in this game. I mean, this is when look at Tom Landry. He's saying, what's going on here? We have to hold on to that football. We finally get a first down. We finally get our second one. Now watch here. He has possession of the ball, and boom, the ball is just knocked out. Oh, and look at the hit that he takes by Doug Plank after he fumbles the ball.
That's 2 hard hits. 2 hard hits that Pearson has taken. Here's Evans on first down. They have Watts down the middle. Pass is picked off. Steve Wilson has it. He just took it away from Watts.
I'll tell you, the score is 3-3. It doesn't look like either one of these offensive teams will want to keep the ball. Now, this was not Vince Evans's interception. This one is Ricky Watts's. I mean, he throws the ball. Vince Evans throws the ball as well as you can here. We see Ricky Watts start to the inside. He's man-to-man on Steve Wilson. He gets the ball out there. It was a little out in front, tipped it with his left hand, went right back behind him, and Steve Wilson took it off his back.
So very quickly, the Cowboys have the ball back. 1st and 10 from their own 48. There's Wilson over on the sideline. Toronto operating out of the shotgun with 52 seconds left to play in the first half. Springs in motion. From the Bears with the rush. Toronto for Butch Johnson. Butch has it. Out of bounds at the Bear 25. Taken out by Todd Bell. Good catch.
Todd Bell really had pretty good position on that play, Pat, and he couldn't believe that he was beaten. I tell you, Butch Johnson just got a little extra step there. You talk about a guy that has excitement, that's Butch Johnson. I think he really adds a lot to this Cowboy team. Watch Toronto there. He's watching Johnson all the way. Watch Todd Bell here. He has good position. He goes for the ball, and he still can't figure out how Butch Johnson came up with it.
45 seconds left to play first half. Cowboys move to the shotgun. Toronto will throw without doubt again on first down. There's blitz. Toronto throws and throws it away in the direction of Tony Hill. Incomplete. Reuben Henderson back there with Hill.
Butch Johnson is complaining to the official that he was hit after that 5-yard area. Look at this. In this first half, we've had 4 turnovers already, and that's why we only have 6 points.
2 field goals. One by Septien, one by Rivetto. And that's been all the scoring. 40 seconds left on the scoreboard clock now. Second down, Dallas at the Bear 25. Morano fires over the head of Drew Pearson, who's hit and hit in the back by Doug Plank. And he is really upset.
And Drew Pearson, he is, and rightly so. What he's saying, if I don't have the ball, if I don't catch the ball, they can't come up and hit me. Now watch him here, and he's right. The ball's there. It goes through. Now watch the hit. He's standing there. And, of course, it looked like Doug Plank really didn't try and hit him. He tried to avoid it. But Drew Pearson doesn't understand that. He said, they can't hit me when I'm down after I drop the ball.
So it'll be 3rd and 10.
Those Bears safeties are all over this field.
They're not out there to shake hands either. Salvi in motion. Penalty marker down as Carano steps up, throws to Salvi over his head. Bruce Heron was covering Jay Salvi. You see the penalty markers against Dallas. Take this one or refuse it?
I think that they're in Rafael Septien's range anyway. I would refuse the penalty.
Illegal shift. Offense, 2 men moving. Refused. 4th down.
I don't think you ever give a team like Dallas another shot at you. I think you refuse it, let them kick it.
Here comes Charlie Waters out. 30 seconds left on the scoreboard clock. Septien being a little closer this time will be 43 yards out. Side of the upright, I believe.
Hey, that's about as close as you can come without being good. That was very close. But it wasn't good enough. It was a good snap, a good hold. He gets the ball down. It's up. There's nothing that bothers him there. And now watch the ball. He expects it to come in. He wants it to come in a little to hook, but it didn't. It stayed right outside that right goalpost. Well, that's about as thin as you can cut that thing. But see, from the right hash mark, the soccer-style kicker has to bring it in a hooking position.
There's Danny White. Looks like he's got some kind of an ice pack on his back.
On his right, on that right back shoulder.
25 seconds left on the clock. Bears have all 3 timeouts left. But they'll just run out the clock. Randy White made the tackle. Coming up at the half, Brendan Phillips back in New York. Earlier today, in case you missed it, Detroit beat Kansas City, and the Bears will just let the clock run out. There will be a feature during the half on the Ronald McDonald houses around the country, and what a worthwhile cause that is. Neil Armstrong leads his Bears back to the locker room at the half with his team tied with Tom Landry's. It's Chicago 3 and the Dallas Cowboys 3.
Welcome back to New York, and again from Phyllis and myself and everybody at CBS Sports, a very happy Thanksgiving. And Phyllis, on this special day, we have a special treat for everybody.
Oh, Brent, we certainly do. Thanksgiving is a special day when people show their care and affection for others. Right now, such a story is taking place live in Philadelphia. So let's go to the newest member of our CBS Sports staff, Sandy Hill in Philadelphia. Sandy?
Thank you, Phyllis. You know, for most of us, it is very difficult to separate a holiday such as Thanksgiving from home and family. It seems as set as a fine sculpture. But sometimes that just doesn't work out, particularly when there is a serious illness in the family, and it would not have worked out for many of the people that you see here with me today. Bob Knight and his son David are not from Philadelphia, but they have to be here because David is 4 years old and he has leukemia. He has to have access to the doctors at Philadelphia Hospital. The Fenimores are from Maine, and they too have to have access to those doctors because of their 4-month-old son Jordan. So in effect, what's been created here is a new kind of family, a new kind of home. And it really would not have been possible without the efforts of the Philadelphia Eagles, which is why you also see in attendance here Herman Edwards, Tony Franklin, and Charlie Johnson. Now, as a bit of history for all of you, in 1971, the daughter of then Philadelphia Eagle, Fred Hill, was suffering from leukemia, but Fred chose to look beyond his own personal pain and try to do something for others who were sharing that kind of crisis. He got the support of his club, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the result was this house, the Ronald McDonald House. But this was just the beginning, because the National Football League got behind Fred's idea as well, and you might say it launched what has become its most successful expansion program. Today, one can find Ronald McDonald houses in cities throughout the world. There are some 30 in all. Single-family homes, or convents, or old rooming houses converted to serve the needs of families whose children are suffering from serious illnesses, to ease both their financial and emotional burdens.
My wife and I had a leukemia child. And I can say to you that a facility like this will have a meaning to those families that you'll never fully appreciate.
Many families have to travel great distances to get the kind of medical treatment their children need. Until these houses became available, many of them wound up in an often lonely hotel room. Here, they have a home-like environment, and they pay just $10 a day if they can afford to. If not, well, there are always plenty of chores to do around a house filled with children. Besides, these houses offer a unique kind of emotional support. Since the first house opened here in Philadelphia in 1974, some 50,000 people have taken advantage of it. One of them is Barbara Dye, whose 6-year-old son is in the hospital even now. And Barbara, as a parent, how important is the emotional support that you get from other parents who are going through similar crises?
It's very important for us parents to be here and talk to each other about our problems. It makes you realize that you have the support of others and that we're not alone.
You have a lot of support here today from some mighty mountainous-looking men. What does that do for the moral support of all of you?
Oh, it's wonderful. We're all together and we're happy and we're together as a family having Thanksgiving.
Terrific. Well, also over here, an eagle that has not been introduced as yet, Bill Berge, who has been involved in this project since you came to Philadelphia in 1974. Why do you choose to spend Thanksgiving here?
Well, first of all, we're very proud of our Eagles Fly for Leukemia campaign. We just believe that this is really what it's all about. People helping people, enjoying people, and when families can't be together on a Thanksgiving day, you know, and their families are split, what better way than just to get together and, you know, share one another, love one another, enjoy one another. And like I said, Sandy, this is what life is all about right here. People enjoying people.
Well, I know the little lady who's, whoops, the turkey, my goodness. Amy, I know you're a big Eagles fan. You must be glad to be sitting next to this fellow today.
Yeah, it's great. I'd rather be here than at home.
Fantastic. Let's go for that turkey then. It looks real good, gentlemen. It's good you could be here and join us.
Well, it's always thankful on Thanksgiving because it is a day of thanks, and it's even more humbling to me to come to a place of this nature and to be grateful for being around people that are not so fortunate as myself.
Well, we are about ready to indulge in all of this wonderful food, but before we do, from all of us here to all of you there, Happy Thanksgiving!
Oh, that is so marvelous. The parents, the kids, the staff of the Ronald McDonald House, Bill Berge, and all the guys from the Eagles. Good job, Sandy.
Great. It was nice to have Sandy join CBS. Always nice to have nice folks coming to this network. We have another new addition, Billy Packer. College basketball starts on Saturday. Back with Billy and that story as the NFL Today continues on CBS after these messages from your local stations. College basketball moves to CBS on Saturday. Most of you will watch Arkansas, Michigan. The rest of the country will see San Francisco, Georgia before the year is over. Everybody's going to hear from our expert, Billy Packer. Billy, so nice to have you on the CBS Sports staff. And you brought along a novel idea. a poll, a basketball poll, just what the world needs, Billy, another poll.
Well, I think that we don't need another poll, but I think that it's very important for the fans around the country to get an opportunity to meet some of the guys that are going to do the decision process for us this year. We're going to have some outstanding coaches who we have selected around the country, and you'll see them right here. We've broken the nation down just like the NCAA tournament will be broken down. All the conferences represented. There you've got a guy like Jimmy Valvano in the East, you know, the Italian. He voted for St. John's in the 10 because he wanted an Italian coach. The Mideast, Judd Heathcote, former national champion coach at Michigan State. Ought to really be fun to fool around with there. Eddie Sutton will be the coach in our opening ball game down in Arkansas. Outstanding. Of course, Raymar of DePaul. Jerry Pym voted for North Carolina. He said, heck, they knocked me out of the NCAA last year. Might as well put them on the top.
Billy, what did the coaches come through a preseason poll? Have you got that you can show everybody?
Well, we do have a preseason poll that we can go, and unlike just about everybody else, they went right along with North Carolina on top, UCLA number 2. But I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't want to open up with that club number 3, Louisville. They've got everybody back from a couple of years ago, and you can see that breakdown. Kentucky right in there 4, and Georgetown. It's going to be an outstanding year for college basketball, and that number 10 team, Minnesota, is going to be out of sight also.
Billy, have veto power over these coaches if you want to juggle a couple of these?
Well, we can't juggle it all, but Brent, we can go back after them, and we want the fans to get involved with this too. If they don't like what they see, come on after us, because we'll go after these coaches. They'll be on, and we can take a shot at them.
All right. So nice to have you at CBS, and you'll be on the Michigan-Arkansas game on Saturday, right? Oh, that's terrific. We have another of our colleagues who is down at the sidelines, down in Texas, and that would be Irv Cross. Billy Packer says, hey, Irv Cross is in great shape. He could play basketball. Didn't even mention football. Let's come back and talk to Irv.
At Northwestern?
Here's Irv down on the sideline now. Irv, what about the second half? The Chicago Bears are doing pretty well.
I tell you, Brent, the Chicago Bears are really for real. I talked to the coaching staff before the game started, and they said, this might sound crazy, but we feel we can beat the Dallas Cowboys, provided we can make yardage on first down and get them in a situation where they have to be concerned about run or pass. Of course, Walter Payton is playing extremely well, and of course, young Singletary, a middle linebacker, is having a whale of a game. Danny White, by the way, hit in the back, deep bruise. They're x-raying right now to see how bad it is. Brent?
All right, Irv, thank you so much. And the NFL Today continues on CBS with the second half in just a moment.
CBS Sports on a day when our nation should be indeed giving Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you from all of us at CBS Sports. John, the bird. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Good turkey.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by...
As both the Bears and the Dallas Cowboys have returned to the playing field, the score at the half at Texas Stadium, Chicago 3 and Dallas 3. Once again, good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall with John Madden. And, John, it's been a tough first half.
Well, it really has. The short week, I think, really affects the offenses more than it does the defenses, and we're really seeing that in the first half because the offense is a timing thing. It takes much more practice and time, and the defense is more emotional, and they react. And there's been 5 fumbles in this first half. It's been that type of half. The offenses really haven't gotten anything going, and the defenses are really attacking.
If you're Tom Landry, what do you tell your team at the half?
I think what Tom would say is, he's always talking about consistency. And I know that he's going to say that we're not consistent. We're not consistent on offense. We have to get something going. And I think they'll start with Tony Dorsett, that'll be the first thing that they'll try to get consistent with, Tony Dorsett and their running game. And then, of course, I think on the Chicago Bears side, they just want to keep doing what they're doing and keep with their mixture, get a little pass on first down, and try and keep that Dallas Cowboy defense off balance.
There's Neil Armstrong. Let's look at the first half stats. The first downs, Cowboys only had 4. The Bears had 6. Yards rushing 118. Of course, most of that by Walter Payton of the Bears. The Bears really controlled things, particularly on defense. Happy Thanksgiving once again. And from all of us at CBS, we extend that greeting to you as well. A very quiet crowd through most of the first half at Texas Stadium. Ravello coming on to kick off for the Bears. The Cowboys will have the football first. Score tied at 3. Tony Dorsett, 10 carries, 38 yards. Walter Payton, 18 carries, 106 yards. He has most of the bare yardage.
And that's the thing I think that Tom Landry was addressing himself to. We have to get some more running yards. We have to break Tony loose.
James Jones back deep to accept Ravetto's kick. One more half of football to go, at least. We're tied at 3. The first bear down to make the tackle at about the 26-yard line. It's Glenn Carano at quarterback for Dallas. In the event you might have joined us late, Danny White had to scramble, got caught in a sandwich hit, got a bruised rib cage, and we don't know how serious it is or if indeed he'll be back. The Dallas offense, with the exception of White, same thing they began with. Dorsett deep in the eyes. 2-3 in motion. Carano will throw on first down and fires outside, intended for Tony Hill. Ruben Henderson came over to break it up, but a penalty marker goes down.
That's Al Jury, the official there. He was right on top of the play, and he was saying that that's pass interference on Ruben Henderson.
Pass interference, defense, number 20, first down.
Cowboys, the line of scrimmage about the 37-yard line. Watch.
Here it is right there. You see he came in and he looked like he bumped him before the ball got there. That's a very tough call. Ruben Henderson had to do what he did on that play.
First down, Cowboys. That's Springs. Springs had a -2 yards in the first half. He got about 5 that time, so at least he's in the plus side now. Stopped by Al Harris.
You know, maybe that was one of the things that Coach Landry also talked about as halftime, is getting Ron Springs involved in the offense. He really didn't catch many passes or run the ball much the first half, and maybe he wanted to get the mixture that involved Ron Springs.
5 yards for Springs, make it 2nd and 5. Ball at the 43, score tied at 3. Here's Dorsett. Al Harris made the tackle. Singletary really decked Ron Springs as he was trying to block him. Danny White, we are informed, will not return today.
Tom Landry's calling the play there. He's sending it in with Butch Johnson. He tells him to play. Butch Johnson will come in, tell Glenn Carano to play. You just saw it there. It didn't take long to tell him that play, did it?
A lot of pressure on Glenn Carano. Score tied at 3. Cowboys tied with Philadelphia for the lead in the NFC East. 3rd and 7. Springs in motion. Here comes the Bear blitz. Carano goes down. The ball's on the ground. Cowboys fall on it. Doug Plank came in to hit Glenn Carano.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of pressure on Glenn Carano in a lot of ways. This guy here, Doug Plank, just caused it. He comes from the right side. Now look from the right of your screen. He comes from outside in a safety blitz. You'll see him coming into the picture right now. He's not blocked. Carano doesn't see him, doesn't feel him, and look at the jolt that he took. That would have been a fumble. I'm sure it was recovered by the Cowboys.
Raphael Septien is in the punt. Septien, not bad. Jeff Fisher takes it out of bounds, and the Bears will take over their first possession of the second half. It is still Chicago 3 and Dallas 3. Raphael Septien in the background back there. Just punted. There he is, number 1. Danny White out with that injury to his rib cage, chest wall. 33-yard kick by Raphael Septien. Vince Evans still the Bear quarterback. Schnagel in motion. Walter Payton will carry. Payton cuts back and struggles for about 4 or 5 yards before Harvey Martin trips him up.
You know, that was some run there. That's, you know, only a great back like a Walter Payton could make yardage on that play. It was supposed to go outside. He planted that right foot. His next foot was with the left. I mean, his next step was with the left foot straight up the field. Only that man and some other great ones in this league could make that type of run.
Information is that Danny White is now in the locker room being x-rayed. We'll have more information perhaps. Here's Payton again. Walter Payton gets it across midfield. Michael Downs had to make the tackle, but Payton just surged.
It's interesting the way that the Bears are coming out and starting the same way in the second half they did in the first half. Now watch that little move there, shoulder straight up, but watch the strength that he has. There's Mike Downs making that tackle, and Walter Payton really jolted him when those two collided.
It'll be a first down, Chicago at midfield. 11:30 left, third quarter. Payton again. And he got about 4. Ed Jones draped around his ankle, right behind. Right side of that offensive line, Emmanuel Sanders, the key blocker on that last one.
They're using Walter Payton, you know, to run those inside runs. His longest rush has been 25 yards, as we see here. He really hasn't broken a long one today, nor has he all year.
He got 4 on that last one. They get 2nd and 6. Marjoram wide to the right. Bashnigel to the left. Payton again. And he ducks under a couple of tacklers. Charlie Waters made the tackle. Everson Walls had a shot at him in the backfield, and Payton just skipped away from him.
You know what they did is they took Danny White into the locker room, and they x-ray him. They have x-ray machines. See, he's in there right now. They have x-ray machines in all the locker rooms in the NFL where they can x-ray right on the spot. And that's what they're doing right now.
We'll keep you up to date on what the word is with Danny White. 3rd and 4. Evans gives to Suey on the draw, and he's very close to a first down. Ed Jones made the tackle.
I think that's only about the second time that Matt Suey's had the ball today. But again, that'll be part of the mixture. They want to give the ball to Matt Suey as a changeup off of Walter Payton. And of course, maybe after they get a first down, they may start mixing in some pass here.
It'll be a 4th down. And they're going to go for it. Suey has carried the ball 3 times all day.
And this is the time that, Neil Armstrong says, we're 3 and 9. We have to do it. If we're in this game, we have to do things like go on 4th down.
They go with 2 tight ends, and one of those tight ends, Mike Cobb, went too early. And now they'll have to punt. That will make your hair that color.
That is what will upset a coach. Here he is. They're in a big situation. 4th and inches. It was number 87. He was a left tight end, and he moved before the ball was snapped.
Now they'll have to punt, and Bob Parsons comes on. Instead of 4th and a foot, it's 4th and 5.5.
Watch it right there. You know what happened? I think D.D. Lewis took a little jab step, and Mike Cobb, instead of reacting on the snap count, reacted to D.D. Lewis's movement.
Jones stands back deep at his own 10. Parsons up to 40. Parsons has thrown from punt formation, by the way. 2 out of 5 inside the 20. In fact, he has 2 inside the 10.
I think with a score of 3-3, and when your defense is playing as well as a Bear defense is, I don't think you need those types of things.
Parsons standing at the 40. It's off another high kick. Aiming to the sidelines, and he will get it. Bounces back to about the 11. But Parsons has had some magic on the ball today.
That's the 3rd time he did it. It didn't turn over, but it bounced and stayed and came right back to him.
Still 3-3. They put the ball down at the 12-yard line, where the Cowboys have it 1st and 10 with Glenn Carano at quarterback. Still no further word on what the situation with Danny White is. Bruce Pearson split wide to the right. Tony Hill to the left. Here's Dorsett. Dorsett around the corner being chased and thrown out of bounds by Singletary, way out of bounds.
Watch this again. We'll see Dan Hampton now. He's the defensive end on the side that they're coming to see, and they start out, and he gets blocked by the right guard on that play. Herb Scott, the pulling guard from the left side, and it got his hands down so that Dorsett was able to make that bounce and that jump around the end. Now he's out of bounds there. You have to stop tackling him.
There's Dorsett going the other way. Dorsett may have the first outside the 20. Gary Campbell made the hit. It is a Dallas first down.
Tom Landry, he's going to send in Ron Springs with a play now, and I'm sure that's part of his plan, is in this second half is to establish Tony Dorsett.
There is the Bear punter, Bob Parsons. He's had a hot day.
That's why he's smiling.
First down, Dallas at their own 23. 8:29 left in the third period. The score tied at 3-all. Dorsett again. There he goes. Almost broke it. Otis Wilson made the stop. Dorsett out to the 30.
This Bear defense is very active. They rely on their two safeties, Fensick and Plank, to make a lot of tackles. And we were talking earlier about Tony Dorsett. Maybe in the first half he won't get as much, but in that second half, when you start to wear that defense down a little, that's when he may get his yards. Of course, Walter Payton already has his.
Yeah, an outstanding first half. Here's Dorsett, 14 for 54 now. Again, this time a loss of yardage by Gary Fensick.
We were just talking about how these safeties, this Gary Fensick, as we see right here. Now watch him. He'll be outside on the left. He's what they call the force man. He comes out to the outside. Don't let Dorsett bounce out. He not only didn't let Dorsett bounce out, but he made a great tackle.
Sure did.
That's a formed tackle. Watch him. You see he's coming out to the outside. Just wrap around those knees. That's where you have to tackle Tony Dorsett.
3rd and 7. Clock running now, just over 7 minutes left to play third quarter. 3 wide receivers as Toronto goes back in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Toronto throws. Incomplete to Drew Pearson as he is cut down again. Reuben Henderson back there with him.
I'll tell you, that Chicago Bears secondary has been all over that field hitting today. Now watch this. Watch, Fensick is zeroing in on Drew Pearson there. They had him inside out, and it looked like Drew saw Fensick coming.
He did take a look. Here's Raphael Septien's second career punt coming up. Rafferty, the snapper. Septien, the Russian, almost got Septien, and he goes down, but no flag is dropped. Tried to block it, and all very nearly got it.
I'll tell you, if they didn't hit him, they sure. Septien's a great actor. This is only his second career punt in the National Football League. He even steps like a sidewinder when he punts. The ball's off. He wasn't touched. He went down and fell on someone.
Bruce Herron was close to him, but didn't touch him. CSB. That's not where we were. 1st and 10, Chicago Bears. Ball at their own 45. Payton and Suey, the two setbacks. Payton's the ball carrier. Payton trying to throw the option and will throw. Hangs it high. Walls is back there with the intended receiver, Marjoram, or Marcus Anderson. Marjoram it is.
A little sweetness on that play. He was smiling there. He didn't get it halfway there. I know on that play, he got to the point of no return where he had to throw it. He threw it as hard as he could. And I know that they'll give him heck about that play, because they always do to those halfbacks on their run passes. If you run like Walter Payton, you don't have to be able to throw it.
And you don't have to apologize.
No.
You can't.
You just smile.
2nd and 10. expecting a pass. Harvey Martin. Pass is picked off by Too Tall Jones. Dallas ball. Jones fielded it in the air.
Watch this now. I think the Dallas defense figures they have to win the game themselves. Watch him from Vince Evans' backside, his blind side. He doesn't see Harvey Martin come. He hits it. Ed Too Tall Jones was right in position to catch that ball and have an interception.
Dallas gets the turnover. 1st and 10 at the 35 of Chicago.
That's teamwork by defensive ends, and there's the man that caused it.
Dallas went into the game tied for the lead with Cincinnati in takeaways, and they've added to it today. Springs. He's going to throw. Left-handed thrower. Throws for Tony Hill. Hill bats it around. Interception in the end zone. Reuben Henderson back there with him. They just kept it alive.
That is something. Maybe the Cowboys got the idea from the Bears, but it didn't work from the Bears either. Reuben Henderson wasn't fooled at all. He doesn't go for the run at all. We see Hill. He's supposed to come down and then go act like he's stopping and jog. We see there's Doug Plank. He's right there with him. The ball is up. Now watch. It's tipped. It's up once. It's tipped again by Tony Hill. And by that time, Reuben Henderson was back in position to out-wrestle Tony Hill for the ball.
So the Bears will take over at their own 20. The rookie, his 3rd interception of the year. Chicago 3, Dallas 3, and turnovers are 3 apiece as well. Double tight end setup for Chicago. Payton on 1st down. Cuts to the outside. Payton with a stiff arm is taken out of bounds, and a penalty marker goes down. They'll call it against Mike Downs.
Hey, Walter Payton is making some of those same moves that we've seen Tony Dorsett make over the year, where you take that thing inside, hold the defense, and then bounce outside against them.
Face mask violation call against the Cowboys.
Now, this penalty can be 5 yards, which it is here, or 15 yards, depending on the severity.
On the tackle, face mask, 5 yards, number 26, defense, 1st down.
What it is, if they just touch the face mask and they don't twist or move the head, then, of course, it would be 5 yards. If they take it, watch that move. Now, watch Mike Downs here. It's okay for Payton to stiff arm him. See, he grabbed him by the face mask. That was a penalty, so he gets that yardage plus 5 yards.
And gets the 1st down. It's Suey this time. He gets about 3. And is hit by about 4 members of the white-shirted Cowboys. Harvey Martin, the first man there. There is Danny White.
I'll tell you, Danny White is something. The X-ray showed no fracture, but you know what happens when they get hit like that? Sometimes they get a spasm, you know, where everything, that whole side and back tightens up and you have no motion at all. I'm sure that's what happened to Danny White.
2nd and 8. 5:45 left to play. Ball at the 33-yard line of Chicago. Score tied at 3 apiece. Payton again. Payton wrapped up by Randy White.
Randy White looked like a linebacker on that one. Look at these stats, and they're all the same. Turnovers, Chicago 3, Dallas 3. Score, Chicago 3, Dallas 3.
Good poker hand. Brooks Williams checks into the Chicago lineup, as he does frequently on passing situations. Out comes Robin Earl. Williams, the tight end, on the left side. White. Evans gets away from him, throws. Caught by Payton, and he's knocked down. And they'll mark it with him getting enough for a 1st down. Payton made the leaping catch.
He was hit there by Anthony Dickerson just as he caught the ball. I'll tell you, that's very close to a 1st down, and we'll see where they're going to spot this ball. Now watch Randy White there. He's double teamed. He gets double teamed all the time. They have the guard blocking him. Plus, they keep the back in there to block him. Now watch, Payton gets hit by Dickerson right there, and it'll be right there where the ball went down, and it's very close. It is a first down now.
First down, Chicago.
That was a right foot. See, they put the left. No, it was a left foot going that way. If he puts a left foot, it's a first down. If he marks it with his right foot, it would have been short.
First and 10. A left-footed first down. Payton deep in the I formation, and Evans looks and throws. Intended for Bashnagel, and Bashnagel is bashed.
Bashnagel was bashed by Everson Walls. I don't think in any game that we've done this year, Pat, that we've seen hitting in the secondary like we're seeing today. Every time a receiver goes out for a pass, he's really taking the jolts.
On both sides.
Yeah.
So it'll be second and long, and Benny Barnes and Dickerson come into the Dallas lineup along with Steve Wilson. Handoff Payton as they run, and Payton just hurls that body down near a first down again. Michael Downs was the tackler.
Walter Payton can do a lot of things. We know that he can run well. He has quick moves, but he also has strength. And, you know, all running backs, you want them at the end to finish off the run. Don't stop when you first get hit. Get another yard. Get another half yard. Finish it off.
They bring out the sticks again as Payton, running on second and long, comes that close to a first down.
That was a right foot. See, we saw a left foot earlier, and now we see a right foot.
And about a foot short. 4 minutes, 12 seconds left to play. The ball right at midfield. A 44-yard field goal by Rivero. The Bears 3. A 41-yarder by Rafael Septien.
You know what excuse me, Pat. You know what wouldn't be a bad play here for the Bears? I'm sure they would go for it on fourth down if they don't make it. Is a play pass. Fake or run. Try and get the Cowboy defense up and try and get someone deep.
Third and short. Bashnagel in motion. Handoff is to Suey. That's Suey. Breaks into the secondary and very nearly goes the distance. Waters dragged him down and saved 6.
You know what wouldn't be a bad play, Pat, here? Is to run to Matt Suey to the left side. See, they'll be keying on Payton, bring Payton across the backfield, hand it to Suey inside, and let him pick up the first down. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
That and a play pass.
Or a play pass.
First down, Bears. Line of scrimmage, the Cowboy 35. Clock running at 3:20, third quarter. Bashnagel comes in motion. They hand off to Payton. Payton gets a couple. Is knocked back by John Dutton.
You know, the one thing, the offensive line of the Chicago Bears are really doing a pretty good job of blocking that Cowboy defense. You know, Keith Van Horn has his hands full over there with Too Tall Jones, but he's doing a good job. Emmanuel Sanders at the right guard is doing a good job.
Andy White over with Glenn Carano, who has taken his place as the Cowboy quarterback. They're getting close to field goal range. Vince Evans, the quarterback, on second and long. Kicks back to Suey. Suey cuts back inside and gets down to about the 25-yard line, about a yard shy of a first down, it looks like.
And you know, the block that sprung Matt Suey where he could pick up that yardage was made by Walter Payton on D.D. Lewis. So he really does it all.
Matt Suey of Penn State. Third down about a foot. Mike Cobb checks in for the Bears. And now I'd say they are at field goal range. Ricky Watts out of the game as they go with 2 tight ends and Bashnagel in motion. That's Suey, and he has another first down. He just got the play off. Bob Brunig made the hit. First down, Chicago Bears.
You know, the Bears have been called once for the 30-second violation. They started about 3 weeks ago calling the plays from the sideline for Vince Evans. Vince Evans, before that, had been one of the few quarterbacks in the National Football League that called his own plays.
And he says he likes it better this way.
I think he may have even suggested that they do that, because then he can just concentrate on execution.
First down at the 24. Bashnickel again comes in motion. No flag. This is Payton. And Payton struggling for a couple. Bob Brunig. That was Dutton that was very nearly offside, but no penalty marker drop.
Like John Dutton started, he looked like he was going to a stunt to the inside, and he started a little soon. Now here we see Neil Armstrong, Ted Marcia-Broda to the right, the offensive coordinator, and they call the plays. They'd already sent one in.
Less than a minute left to play, third quarter. Second down and 8. Ball at the Dallas 22. Pitches back to Payton. Payton looking for someplace to go. Still on his feet. Goes down the sideline and out of bounds. Michael Downs knocked him out of bounds. They just can't get him down.
You know one reason? Because he always has his shoulders perpendicular to the line of scrimmage. He always has his shoulders square going upfield. And when he's in that position, he's tough. Now, if he were going sideways with his shoulders in this position, now he couldn't. But now watch when he squares up here and gets in that running position. He is very quick and very powerful.
Blocked by Suey out in front of him on Charlie Waters. Mike Cobb limps off the field for the Bears. Like something happened to his right foot. They'll measure again for a first down. Had to take those chains all the way across the field. About that much short. There he goes again.
Yeah, they'll show that to you when they don't do that when it's first down. You know, it's funny, Walter Payton isn't having the great year that he's had in the past, and people were saying that he's lost a step, that he's done this and that, but I think that he's shown people today what he's been saying all along. No, I'm no different. But you know, when you lose, you're 3-9, it's tough. What do you say? You don't want to point fingers, and it's been a real tough year for Walter Payton, but today he's showing what a great back he always has been.
And he hasn't lost anything. Third, about a foot, 2 tight ends. Brooks Williams and Robin Earl. There goes Bashnickel in motion. The handoff is to Suey, and Suey breaks a tackle. Gets down inside the 10 to about the 6 before Mike Hegman made the stop. They mark it at the 7. First down.
Tom Landry doesn't like this. But, you know, Matt Suey, he reminds me of Pete Banaszak, who we had, that really has a feel for that short yardage where you start in one side. Now watch him here. He's going to follow Payton here to the right. See, now watch that little cutback that he had. You keep your shoulders square, head up, eyes open where you can see, and you feel a soft spot and cut right back into it.
That'll be the end of the third quarter as the Bears charge to the other end of the field. They'll have it first and goal at the 7. One more quarter to go. The score still tied at 3-all. Summerall with John Madden. That's the situation right now. Chicago 3, Dallas 3. Fourth quarter just about to begin. The Bears have it first and goal on the 7-yard line of Dallas. Payton and Suey, the 2 setbacks. That's Walter Payton. Stacked up after about a yard, and now he struggles to keep his feet and get another one. John Dutton, the first man there.
I'll tell you, that's some wall to run into. Too Tall Jones and John Dutton. Look at you talk about control. You see that time of possession? In this second half, the Bears have really controlled the ball.
They give Payton a yard, so it's second and goal from the 6 now. Vince Evans, of course, is a fine athlete and very capable of rolling out. Certainly in a situation like this, he's a threat to do that. Evans to Payton. Payton cuts back. Doesn't quite get in. He stopped at about the 2 by Bob Brunig.
They had Charlie Waters up there on the force. He was up there. He thought he had Payton. He thought he had him not stopped, but turned in. And Payton gave him a step to the inside and ran right outside of Charlie Waters. He's in. Geez, in all my years, that was one of the good moves. You got it.
Waters was a little bit slow in getting up and limped back to the defensive gathering for Dallas. They put it down at the 2. It's 3rd and goal from there.
The Bears are taking a timeout, Pat.
Evans not quite sure of what he wanted to do. We'll be back with more of the Chicago Bears against the Dallas Cowboys after this word from your local station. 3rd down and goal for the Bears on the Cowboy 2-yard line. Cowboy head man Tom Landry. 3rd down. Crowd to its feet. It's Evans rolling out, and Evans will roll into the end zone.
That's one thing about having a quarterback like Vince Evans. You know, Dennis Thurman said of all the quarterbacks in the NFL, probably the best athlete is Vince Evans. And when you get down there on the goal line, you have another dimension. Now watch it here. This was run for Vince Evans all the way. Charlie Waters comes up to the outside. Emmanuel Sanders gets him. It's just a foot race, and Vince Evans gets into the end zone.
And the Bears move in front.
Watch this. You see it's a run all the way. Suey is leading. Sanders is blocking, and Vince Evans is running to the flag.
Avellini will hold for Rivetto. It is blocked. Mike Downs is the one who got it, and Ed Jones might have got the hand on it too.
I'll tell you, that could be a big play in this game. You know, anytime you miss an extra point, it usually comes back to haunt you. Now watch this. We'll see it come from the right side. Right, it was Too Tall Jones. His right arm. Too Tall Jones is 6'9". He gets that right arm. He's 7'6", and boom, he just whapped it right back at Rivetto.
Almost like a spike.
I'll tell you, those things always come back to haunt you. It doesn't seem like a lot at the time. The Bears are ahead 9-3, but that single point will be there.
A lot of time left. 13:39 left to play. The Bears ahead of Dallas 9-3.
Bruning is talking about what they have to do on defense the next time to stop the Bears.
Imagine there's a little joy in Philadelphia right now.
These teams enjoy watching each other. You know, last week there was joy here in Dallas when the Giants upset the Eagles. The week before that there was joy in Philadelphia when Detroit upset the Cowboys, and they just keep having joy switches every week.
Rivetto to kick off. Drive kick in the direction of Jones. Newsom lets it bounce around. You better cover it. And finally Jones does. And they'll bring it out to the 20. The AFC Central Division standings you saw right there. Don't forget Sunday, the Rams will be in Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh with playoff hopes still alive. Starts with the NFL today.
Pittsburgh has Lynn Swann back now, and that Terry Bradshaw, when he gets it going, you know, he can throw 4 or 5 touchdown passes.
Crowd coming to life now. Dallas has the football. Drew Pearson out to the left. Tony Hilsford out to the right. Quinn Toronto, the Dallas quarterback. Ron Springs. Springs still on his feet. Outside the 45 to the 47.
You know, this may have all started with Ed Too Tall Jones's block of that extra point. It looked like it livened up that sideline. Maybe it made this offense come to life. See, it's a little fake here. Fakes to Dorsett, throws it out to Sims, but there's a penalty on the play. We'll see it here again. Throws it out to Springs. He gets it up to midfield, but there's a penalty that will bring the whole thing back.
They walk it off against Dallas. And the ball goes back to the 15. Let's see what happens.
Offside, offense, number 80. First down.
Tony jump and nullifies everything. It'll be 1st and 50. Landry a little disgusted. Cheerleaders a little disappointed. Cowboys a little bit further back. Here's the handoff to Dorsett as he swings around to the outside. Gets back 5 to the 20.
We didn't think that it would happen today, but we know that Tony Dorsett has gained over 1,000 yards, and Walter Payton, look at that, he's the 8th person to gain 1,000 yards this year. He's right at 1,000.
Joe Delaney of Kansas City moves up to 5th place with his effort against Detroit earlier today. Dorsett remains the lone setback. 2nd down. Carano, the quarterback, drops the throw. Going deep for Tony Hill. Hill has it. Tony Hill tackled at the Chicago 25 by Doug Plank.
And there's no penalty on that one.
This is a great throw by Carano.
That was a great throw. And Tony Hill, watch him. Here's Reuben Henderson, number 20. He's on him. He's not playing a man-to-man to the inside. See, he thinks he has help inside. And Tony Hill just runs right between Henderson and the safety, Gary Fencing. It's Doug Plank, and Plank made the tackle from behind. But they didn't have any bump on Tony Hill. He just split the seam right between the corner and the safety.
Tony Hill from Carano. 1st down, Dallas at the Bear 25. 55 yards on that pass completion. Carano with a lot of time. Comes out of the pocket. Carano to the 20 and gets underneath. Al Harris at the 19.
I wonder what Tom Landry was thinking on that run, Pat. You know, Danny White did that, and of course, the hit that he took, he had to leave the game. He sees Carano doing the same thing. Carano looks like, I escaped that one. I dodged a bullet there, but there's a Chicago Bear on the field.
That's Al Harris who's down. A 55-yard shot from Carano to Tony Hill has put the Cowboys back in business, but the Bears lead 9-3. A critical contest for Dallas and for Philadelphia. Tied at 9-3. After this, they'll only have 3 games left to play. By the way, this is the 6th time that Walter Payton has gone over 1,000 yards in his career, and that is a new NFL record. That's Dorsett. He cuts back inside the 10 to about the 9 is Dorsett. Fencing made the tackle, but it'll be 1st and goal, Dallas.
Went over there in that left side behind Pat Donovan. We'll see it there. We see Rafferty fires out. We see the tight end come down. We see the good lead by Ron Springs, who took the linebacker route so Dorsett could cut to the inside. Dorsett doesn't need an awful lot to get through a hole.
1st and goal at the 9 as Pearson and Hill both split wide to the right. Tight end Doug Crosby is on the left-hand side. Carano on a draw play to Dorsett. He struggles to about the 7 before Jim Osborne takes him down. It'll be 2nd down.
That looked like a little foul up on that play, and it didn't look like it. I think Carano thought that Dorsett was in the I formation, and he was out as a halfback behind the left tackle.
Bear head coach Neil Armstrong in the middle. Buddy Ryan, the defensive coordinator, signaling to his defense.
You think that's a blitz signal that he just gave him? I bet we see one here.
Bet we do too. That's Pearson in one direction and now back in the other as Carano drops. No penalty markers. It's Pearson. And he is cut down, and I mean really cut down, at the 5.
And it wasn't a blitz. You know, in the first half, the Bears were very, very effective with their blitzing, their linebacker and or safety blitzing. And we'll see here, there's Neil Armstrong. You know, he's really done a good job of holding this team together. And things have fallen apart to 3-9, but you don't hear an awful lot of complaining by this team.
Extra defensive men come in. Third down and goal for Dallas. They trail by 6. Here's that blitz. And the Bears blitz a little too hard. Todd Bell was the first Bear to make contact. One of the Cowboys on his back.
I think Todd Bell blitzed a little too soon. He knew he wanted to get in that hole. He was getting up there. And
Encroachment defense, number 25.
It'll still be third down. That was Rafferty who stayed down a long time. Here it is.
Now watch Todd Bell come up here. You see him coming right in the right of our screen here. He sees Springs going. Now that's encroachment. That's double encroachment.
That's serious.
If you go over the ball, then that's encroachment. If you go all the way into the backfield, that's a double dipper encroachment. But the difference is this puts Dallas in a position where now they can run the ball. That last down would have been a passing down. This can be run or pass.
3rd and 2.5. Tom Landry might have been trying to get somebody's attention and call a timeout. Toronto fakes, throws for Cosby, and it's knocked away at the last instant. You got to go field goal now, don't you?
They have to do the field goal. You know, this is a great play by Reuben Henderson. You know, there's 9 minutes to go. Now watch Henderson. He's there on Cosby. Number 20, you see he starts underneath him. Now watch this leap right at the end, and the right hand go up and just tip the ball away from Doug Cosby.
Now Landry has called a timeout, and it looked as if they were going to go for it and not take the field goal.
I would think with 9 minutes to go that they would get the field goal here.
Drew Pearson, Danny White. Now Hill joins the conference to decide what it is indeed they'll do. Well, the Cowboy Brain Trust has made its decision, and it is to go for it. It's 4th and goal from the 2.5.
Neil Armstrong, he doesn't want to watch it. I would expect that we'll see some type of quarterback option run or pass.
Arano asking for quiet. Septien and Landry. Dorsett and Springs behind Toronto. The fake is to Dorsett. It's batted away by the Bears and very nearly picked off by Mike Hartenstein. Hill was wide open. So was Cosby in the end zone, but they couldn't get it done.
They couldn't get it past Hartenstein. The Bears had their 5 defensive linemen on the field, and it was an option run or pass. They faked the run. Toronto went to the outside, had the runner pass. He had the pass open, but it was knocked down.
So the Bears will take over at their own 2.5-yard line.
That was a surprise with 9 minutes to go that they didn't take that field goal, because with a score 9-3, 2 field goals would tie, and they still had plenty of time.
And a tie at the end of the year might help them in that race with Philadelphia. 2 tight ends for the Bears. They give to Payton. Payton is smothered by Too Tall Jones. Big Ed all over Walter Payton.
Of course, the one thing they're thinking of here, the Cowboys aren't in bad position because the Bears will have a tough time coming off this goal line. Let's watch Too Tall Jones here. Slam into Van Horn, get penetration into the backfield. Look at him. He just grabs guards and tackles and then finds Payton.
If he's not playing like an all-pro this year.
He really is. And, you know, and a big difference, he plays the run as tough as he wrestles the passer.
The Bears 9, Dallas 3. 8:28 left to play, and the clock is running. Tim Simmons, the Bear quarterback, gives again to Payton. And again he gets a couple, and that's all Randy White. Speaking of all-pro seasons.
Randy White has an all-pro season every season, but these Bears have really been something today. You know, you have to credit the defense and the job and the scrappiness of that group. They've been in there and fought these Cowboys all day.
32 carries, 163 yards for Walter Payton. He'll probably have another one right here. Back in front of him is Suey. Evans throws back to Payton. He will not get the first down, and the Bears will have to kick as John Dutton is the first man to make contact. Hey,
that's a day's work for Walter Payton. You know, after after this game. Of course, they'll have 10 days before their next game, and he'll need it, and they all deserve it.
Here's Bob Parsons. Standing in the end zone, James Jones out near midfield for Dallas.
I'd be surprised if the Cowboys come on a block in this position.
One thing you don't want is roughing the kicker, though. Parsons gets off a good one. Jones retreats to the 45, looking for some place to go. Gets around the corner. James Jones down the sideline. Jones puts him in good shape. The ground knocked him out of bounds. But it'll be a first down, Cowboys, inside the Bear 35 when we come back. The score is Chicago 9, Dallas 3.
How does one become a member of the U.S. ski team? First, you have to be...
Pat Summerall with John Madden at Texas Stadium. The end of a hard-hitting contest between the Bears and the Cowboys, with Chicago leading 9-3. 6:50 left to play. Cowboys have it 1st and 10 at the Bear 37-yard line. Randy White over on the sideline. Lynn Carano replacing Danny White, the Dallas quarterback. Salvi in motion. Carano back to throw. Will take off with it. And does. Carano heading for the sideline. Gets out of bounds at the 26. And up for a first.
I'll tell you, he saw Gary Fensick coming. He did the right thing that time. But watch him here. He goes back to pass. He really had pretty good protection, but there's no one open. You see, the blocking's there. It's pretty good. He's looking downfield. There's no one there. He can't find anyone. Then he has to take off. Going up. Now he starts up here, starts inside. Now he sees that sideline. Fensick is coming from his left here, and right there he gets out of bounds and doesn't get hit. He's learned.
He got a first down. The Cowboys number 18, their quarterback, Glenn Carano. Carano rolls right, looks back left. It's Springs with blockers in front. Springs inside the 20. Springs leaps down to the 10. Gary Campbell made the tackle. What a play.
I'll tell you, Gary Campbell made a great play on that. That play faked everyone out. Now watch what happens. Carano gets the ball, starts out here. The guards pull to the right. Carano goes to the right. The defense goes to the right. The only one out here on this side was Gary Campbell. Now he had to play the whole thing off. Now watch here. Now Springs gets the ball. Now watch Campbell there, 59. He's able to hold him up and make the tackle while some Bears get there.
It is a first down at the 11. They can make a first without scoring. Here's Dorsett slamming down to about the 6. Osborne made the tackle. Cowboys with another chance. Dorsett got 3 perhaps. They mark it at the 6.
You know, that thing that we were talking about earlier, this Bear defense may start to wear down. They haven't yet. There haven't been any signs of it yet, but as we look in that huddle now, you know, it's starting to take its toll.
Todd Bell, Bruce Herron check in.
That means they're playing pass. Bear defense expects pass.
It's 2nd down, 6. They can make a first without scoring. Here's the toss back to Springs. Springs heading for the corner. Touchdown.
The first one there to congratulate him was Tony Dorsett. Now that missed extra point looms big.
It looked like he won.
There's Danny White telling Ron Springs congratulations. They had everything over there to the right. It looked like a pass to the right. Look who leads on that block. It's Tony Dorsett blocking for Ron Springs. He makes the block that really sprung him into the end zone on Bruce Herron.
Waters will hold for Septien. This would put Dallas ahead if it's good. Septien hits it. Here's the difference so far.
Right, and you talk about a play that changed the momentum, that put Dallas back in this. It's this play right here. Too Tall Jones, number 72, spiking that ball, blocking the extra point that made the big difference in this game. That always comes back to haunt you, Pat.
Over the years, that's so true. Here's Septién to kick off. Good kick. Moorhead takes it about 6 yards deep. And the end zone, and the Bears will operate from their 20.
There's Ron Springs, who just scored the touchdown. But watch this play again. Now watch number 33, Tony Dorsett there. We know what he can run and the moves he has. But these are the type of team players that every team has to have. Watch the block that he makes. He stays with him, keeps his head up, stays with, and then cuts him right at the end so that Ron Springs can get in that end zone. That's why Tony Dorsett is the captain of this team this year.
Vince Evans only 5 out of 16 passing today for 40 yards. They'll have to air it out now. Walter Payton is behind him, along with Suey. Here's Evans. He hits Ricky Watts. First down, Bears. Everson Walls made the tackle.
You said he had to air it out. He did air that one out. That one didn't stay in the air very long at all. He can really zip the ball. Look at that, right in there to Ricky Watts.
The Bears haven't beaten the Cowboys since 1971. Cowboys haven't lost at Texas Stadium since 2 years ago, Thanksgiving Day, when they lost to Houston. Watts comes out wide to the right. Marjoram to the other side, and now Marjoram comes in motion. To Payton. Payton chased in the backfield and taken down by Harvey Martin. About a 5 or 6 yard loss.
That's what the Cowboys have been trying to do. That's the way to stop Walter Payton. That's the way to stop any great running back, is penetration. Get in the backfield before he can get turned upfield, and Harvey Martin there just did it.
Neil Armstrong, a little anxious over on the sideline, understandably so. Been a rough year for him.
Coaching tends to make one anxious.
That's why you're glad you're here, huh?
Learn to relax.
Second down. Here's Payton again. Chased by Benny Barnes. Payton cuts back. And Payton is racked by Anthony Dickerson. He picked up about 10. It'll be third down, Chicago.
Anthony Dickerson came all the way across the field, and you know, Payton was just coming out of a move when he hit him.
Third down, 5. Chicago has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Dallas has 2. Landry looks on. Less than 3 minutes left to play. Cowboys with the rush on. Openers Watts. Evans missed him. Steve Wilson, the defender closest to him.
You know, that has to be credited to the, again, it was Anthony Dickerson who hit him because Watts is open out here. You see, he's running what they call a short corner. He starts to the inside. Good move. Back to the corner. He has about 3 or 4 steps on Steve Wilson, but Evans had to throw the ball because Anthony Dickerson was right on top of him.
Check what I said a minute ago. The Bears only have 2 timeouts remaining.
And it's fourth down.
Gotta go. 2:52 left on the clock. Evans. Cowboys fake blitz. Penalty markers go down. Cowboys think it's against the Bears, and they are correct.
It's against Ted Albrecht right there, number 64. He moved. Looks like he was asking what the snap count was. You see me put up that one finger. He thought it was on 1. Look, he's still saying, I'm sorry, I thought it was on 1. Because once those offensive linemen get in a 3-point stance and they get set, they can't move. You know, if I were the Bears right now,
offense, fourth down.
I would punt. Because with 2 minutes and 50 seconds, all they need is a field goal. They have plenty of time.
Fourth down and 11. Evans back deep. Has time. Throws. Penalty marker goes down. Flag is down. Steve Wilson, the defender. But the yellow flag is down. That'll be an automatic first down. Let's see what happened.
I'll tell you, it's against the Cowboys, and that Cowboys sideline was really upset, as Steve Wilson is, as we see him continue to sit there. We'll watch the whole play again. Here's Ricky Watts. They start off in a zone. Steve Wilson bumps him. He's okay the first 5 yards. It wasn't on there.
First down.
Excuse me, it's going to be right here. You see, he has that left hand on him. You see him grab the arm with the left hand? That was the pass interference.
You can see the official going for his handkerchief just as soon as he put that arm on. First down, Bears at the Dallas 40. They need a first down and perhaps a little more to get within range for the field goal. 2:42 left to play. Peyton, the ball carrier, tripped up after 3 by Ed Too Tall Jones.
That's right. The Bears have to remember now, with 2 minutes and 33 seconds, that they have plenty of time, that they're working for a field goal. They don't have to do anything silly. All they need is, you say, about 10 more yards to get in that range. And time is not important yet.
They let the clock run. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Perhaps they'll get a play off before the 2-minute warning. Taking their time. They'll let it run down to 2 minutes. Bears have the ball at the Dallas 38. Exactly 2 minutes left to play, and the Cowboys leading by 1 point. 10-9 over the Bears. Pat Summerall with John Madden at Texas Stadium. 2nd and 8 for the Bears. They have 2 minutes left to play. Both teams do, of course. At the 38-yard line. And the Cowboys lead by 1 point.
And the Bears need about 10 more yards to get in position for a field goal.
2nd down. Peyton looking for some running room, doesn't find much. John Dutton wrapped him up at about the 35. From here, if they tried a field goal, it would be from 52 yards out.
I still think to feel comfortable that 10 more yards would be a lot more comfortable for him.
Certainly would. Here's Rivetto.
He has his own holder there. You see, that's a new machine.
I have not seen that apparatus before.
Yeah, that's a new one. See, and then he doesn't have to worry about a holder who's in the game. Brian Bashnagel's his holder in the game, so he can practice without his holder.
That looks like something that he might have created himself. Pitches back to Peyton. Peyton struggles for the yardage, can't come up with the first down. They're playing for that field goal. Dutton is out there. It'll be from about 50 yards.
So it'll be about 50 yards. We ought to count the men now. You can only have 11 men on the field on a field goal attempt.
Now you tell me.
Where was I in Detroit, huh? Like 1, 2, 3, was it going to be 10, 11 on offense, 1, 2, 10, 11 on defense? We're okay.
It'll be 49 yards out with Bob Avellini holding. Crowd rising to their feet. 36 seconds left to play. Rivetto hits it. No good. Wide. And no good. He had the distance, but not the direction. $65,000 people take a sigh of relief.
Watch the reaction here. Avellini's the holder, and he gets a good snap, good hold. The ball's down. But again, he knows right now that it wasn't good. If it were, he would have been celebrating. He just grabs a face mask and goes off to the sideline.
And believe me, when that happens, that's a long walk back to that sideline. Bears have 2 timeouts remaining. Just covers up. Clock running. Tonight on CBS, Jessica Novak, Knots Landing, and Magnum PI. That's the lineup after football. And it's been quite an interesting afternoon, a rough afternoon.
It's been very rough, and it's been a seesaw up and down battle of control. You know, in the third quarter, Dallas had 8 plays for -1. Now in the fourth quarter, they come back. They had 12 plays for 115 yards, and that's really the difference. Although they missed field goal, there's a difference.
That block extra point didn't help matters.
Now, I'm sure in Philadelphia they're thinking, just we were that close to it, we almost had another one.
Second down, Carano does the kneel again. And the Bears take another timeout. That's all of them. There is Glenn Carano, who came in and replacing Danny White and did a fine job. The NFL today, next Sunday. Los Angeles at Pittsburgh, Washington at Buffalo, Green Bay at Minnesota, Tampa Bay at New Orleans, St. Louis at New England. Check your local listings. And then the doubleheader games, the second games, the Giants at Candlestick Park to play the 49ers, and Atlanta at Houston.
That's the one we'll be doing, that Atlanta-Houston. Geez, Atlanta looked very good Monday night.
They did.
The old Doomsday, they did their job today, didn't they? That big play by Harvey Martin, the interception by Too Tall. Randy White's in there all the time. John Dutton solid in the middle. What a group.
18 seconds left to play. The kneel again. And the Bears have no more timeouts, and they'll just stroll off. And I'm sure that Tom Landry will take a deep sigh of relief. Neil Armstrong continues with a very frustrating season. Again, the final score. Dallas Cowboys 10, Chicago Bears 9. Again, we wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
It's been a very eventful day. Senior producer Charles Milton III. Game produced by Terry O'Neill, who made the trip down to Dallas. Directed so well by Sandy Grossman. And all the rest who spent Thanksgiving in Texas and made it a most enjoyable trip. Thank you. Quite a group, John.
They sure were. They were on top of everything today, you know. And I think that pregame meal that we had last night, that turkey dinner, I think was the thing that they needed, because they were really ready to go today, that group.
Either
Great
that
job.
or the cigars. It's Dallas 10, Chicago 9. That's the final score. For John Madden, Pat Summerall saying so long from Dallas. Let's go to Brent Musburger.
All right, Pat, thank you so much. Now, there was one other game played on this Thanksgiving Thursday. That was in the Motor City, and here come the Detroit Lions. That legend is still alive and rolling. It was Eric Hipple against Marv Levy, and the Kansas City coaches couldn't even get the headset to work. And Hipple said, let's roll. David Hill, where are you? 7-0. The Lions go ahead. But the Chiefs bounce back. Billy Jackson plows up the middle after the extra point. It was 7-0.